Alright guys, setting up some pre-stream things first to start, and then I'll be on here in just a little bit, so just please be patient. Pretty excited about tonight's stream. Be going over some songwriting things I've been working on. I mentioned this on a previous Twitch stream. Maybe the last one or the one before that, one of the classic gaming streams. And I'm really excited to do this one. We're going to go over a song that I've been working on. Trying to write and trying to just build a little bit upon that, and maybe that'll help some of you people out there trying to learn how to write songs. I hope it does. So just give me a few seconds here, a few more seconds. I'm going to share this on my YouTube channel so that other people will be aware of that. And it would be awesome if we could stream multiple places at the same time. Maybe somebody can get on that and, you know, make $1 million doing it or whatever. But for right now, we just have to do one thing at a time. So it'll just take me a minute here, and I'll be right back. Man, the internet is taking its time tonight. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Need some kind of like elevator music or something. All right, maybe I can get this going now. All right, I'm just going to add an image here to the post that I'm doing. Then I'll be ready to start. Hopefully things won't go too slow tonight. It'll be all right. Hopefully it'll be all right though. But anyway, while I'm doing this, let's just talk a minute. Christmas is just around the corner. It is now the eve of Christmas Eve. And so it is. I hope everybody has great Christmas plans ahead of them. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas. And I've got 6. I counted up 6 different Christmases that I'll be going to this year. And that's because I've got such a widespread family. But anyway, let me finish up. I think this is posting now, hopefully. Yes, it looks like it is. And posting on there. All right. And just looking through a few YouTube videos that I've got here, making sure. I think my last YouTube video that was scheduled to release has released, and which is a bummer because that means I got to create more content. But I've been having all kinds of ideas for doing that, and streaming definitely helps with that because I can just upload these videos to my YouTube account. All right, so this is just going to be slow about it, so I'm just going to go ahead and get things rolling here. I only want to spend about maybe 30 minutes doing this, and I may end up messing with my blog a little bit and kind of feel like doing that. We'll see about it. Anyway, here I am in my Happy Face Kool-Aid shirt, and since it is Christmas time, my Grinch sleep pants, because that's how I roll in my studio. So I hope you're having a good evening, and hope you're having a good Christmas festivities. We're on the last final stretch of Christmas, and I'm excited about it. My Christmas actually started in September. That's when I started playing Christmas music and started really enjoying it. So I've had all kinds of fun. But let me go to my screen and show you what I'm doing right now, and then we'll get on to a little bit of guitarness, okay? So hopefully everything is going to look all right. Let me check just a second, make sure. I want to, like I always do, I've got to make sure that the stream is healthy and it's doing all right. It says it's excellent, so let's check it real quick. Check just a second, make sure. I want to, like I always do, I've got to make sure. Okay, looks like it's going to be all right, which is good. That makes me happy. If you're on Twitch, feel free to chat, and I will be, kind of looking back and forth between that. What I'm probably going to do is, when I start playing, I'll probably remove this mic because it's going to get in the way of the action. So, for example, you can see here the mic stand is really going to be in the way of the neck and all that. So I'll probably either move it forward. Let's see what happens when I do that. I could probably do that, but then it's in the way on this this camera over here. All right, so we're probably going to move that out of the way. But for now, let's go to the screen, and I can show you what I'm working on. Right now, I am actually working on a new song that I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to do a lot more electric guitar stuff. So I've been working on a song, and I decided to call it Metal Crush because it's got that, edge to it. And I don't know, it just sounded like a cool name for it, so I went with that. This is based on first it started off like a chord progression, just some chords that I had. And you'll be able to hear that at the beginning. That's what happens up here. Okay, and I apologize if you can't see down in this area because that's where my head is right now. But that is, that's where all the menus and things are. Okay, so that's not a big deal there in that instance. See, if I hide my face here, that's what that is. Okay, and so I don't really mess around with anything down here, so it's not like you're going to be missing a whole lot. So right now I've got my 11 rack plugged in, and I'm going to work on a riff tonight that I've had in my head. But we started off with the chords here, and which are being modified by a Revolver VST plug-in, and if I click on that, it should pull it right up. And I'm using, I think it's a XXX mod amp modifier. It's not modifier. I can't even think of the word. But no, this is a Valve King, I think. Let's see, if I go to replace the module, it's, if I go down here and find it, now I can do similar things like this with my, this is no, this is a XXX. Okay, that's what that is. I can do this kind of thing with my 11 rack editor here, but in order to make this work, it's a separate plugin. I can't drag it in like this and make it work. It has to be reamped, and I kind of talked about that last time, where you actually play it and you also make it kind of give it a loop to where it's coming back into itself, and then it creates a dry channel. You have a wet channel with the actual effects on there, and then a dry channel if you want to reamp it later. And you can do that by creating, making the output of the 11 rack, making that as an output. That's what I'm trying to say. But this is it's not modifier. I forget what it's called. Modeler. It's the amp modeler that I'm using for the chords here, the rhythm section. And like I said, if you go to settings, this is in traction. I'm using waveform 9.2, I think. If you change your output here to 11 rack to match this one, then it recognizes that as a reamping tool. So here's the chords, the rhythm section, and I just looped it, and it's looping here again, and I'm just going to keep looping that. Now this is just going to be a very rough draft of this song because I'm kind of piecing it together as it goes. I've got a little bit in my head at a piece at a time, and then I go and record that, and then that'll inspire something else, and then I'll work on that a few days and then come back and record that. So this is more of a demo kind of quality. And for the longest, I've been wondering how to write songs because things are in my head and I don't know how to sit down and record them and figure them out. Well, I figured let's just start by recording something and then go from there. And that just seems to work. So go figure. But we've got a main riff here, and then we've got some harmonies, and then we've got the lead melody here, and the rest of the lead melody going pre-chorus. So that's in there as well, a pre-chorus melody. And today I'm going to be working on PG riffs. This is the technical difficulties kind of style from Paul Gilbert, and I'm going to be using Metal Spread. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and open this 11-rack editor so you can see what it looks like, what the settings are, different things like that to get this sound. Okay, this is one of my favorite sounds on this, and it is, as you can see here, let me shake my mouse so you can kind of get bigger. Yeah, right in there, it says M1, that's the setting channel, that's the preset channel. And then 11R just means it's 11 rack. Same thing as this. The melody, both lead and this, is M1, which is a Mark II type of amp. And I've named it Shredalicious, but it's from the 11 rack as well. So that's kind of how I'm doing my settings so I know what's what. This melody is guitar dry, and this is, you know, it's wet, and I can tell that, the wet signal, but sometimes the 11-rack editor takes a while to load up, but when it does, we'll be all right. For now, while we're waiting, let's go ahead and listen to what I have so far, and then I'll show you what I've got in my head to work on, and then we'll go from there, okay? So the drums are actually being powered by Empower Drum Kit 2, totally free software plug-in that you can use and use on just about any DAW. There's all kinds of expensive, you know, other drum kit emulators out there, but this is the best free one I have found. All you do is you enter your email address and they'll kind of give you a license code or whatever, and that, I mean, it's a really easy process. Just look up MT Power Drum Kit 2 on the internet and you'll be able to find it. And you've got your mixer setting. If I'm in mixers, I can pan things, I can raise things up. If the kick drum's not thumping enough, I can add some compression. So this has got in your master volume here, so that way you don't have to do it in the mixer. And then you go to your grooves, and you can find all these different grooves here that you could use. Say I wanted to use a closed hi-hat. I just click one of these grooves, and the groove itself is usable, and then you have fills within that groove. So I push play, and then I select the fill. Okay, now just do that. Now you'll see how the little bar here is getting bigger. That's because there's 7 bars worth. Okay, and that was the recount, the reset there. Now I have 7 bars so that I can have a longer duration, and then the 8th bar is going to be a fill. Okay, so that's what's happening with this. I started out with kind of like an intro fill. There's intros here. Okay, so we can do that and listen to it. And then we're back in. I think that's what mine is actually. And the cool thing is you got a composer. You can drag in an intro like this. I can go back to the closed hi-hat, number 1. Let's make it 6 bars for a total of 7. And then we add a fill, just any one of these, and that's a total of 8 bars. So that's in 4/4 time, you got 8 bars. All right. So let's go to the front of this, and we can play, and we can keep dragging this. And what you do is when you get done with this, you click and drag it and move it to your DAW. And that's what all this stuff is. You can see this. I looped it. These straight lines mean that it's been looped. Totally easy. And then later on, if I want to get more in depth with it, I can add all these little other things. But let's listen to what that sounds like. You might want another fill there. Okay, and then you can keep going from there. Well, all right. And then from the cool thing is you can go to the drum kit as well and just start playing around. Now this is the only drum kit you get. It doesn't have anything else, but you can also, when you get in here in the MIDI, you can increase the velocity and decrease it. The one thing I do wish they have, had, and if they have, I haven't figured it out, is like brushes, like more jazzy style stuff. But this is basically the standard like rock and roll kit or whatever, if you want to call it. And then you got settings, what all these codes are for your MIDI. Okay, MIDI mapping and all that, which I don't really fool with. I just let this take care of it. Okay, so that's what the drums are being fulfilled by. And I've got a few plugins, like there's a reverberate here. I've got a tape delay over here for the lead stuff and different things like that. So, yeah, this one doesn't have tape delay, I don't think. Yeah, this one doesn't have all these effects like this one does, okay? But what I can do, this is going into pitch shift delay, which is happening down here. All right, so I can. What I did with this is I went ahead, while I had it in my mind, I went ahead and recorded it, but I haven't added any effects and anything like that. And really, I probably won't mess with that anymore until I get to the end and re-record all of this stuff, and then I'll do all that's stuff that needs to be done in the mixing. I just wanted to see what I could come up with delay-wise and different effects and everything to make sure it sounded good. So let's listen to it real quick, and then I'll show you what I've in my mind right now, what I'd like to work on as far as that goes. All right, so here we go. There's no bass track either. I haven't done that yet. Here we go. Okay, now I know what just happened, why that took so long. I forgot to put in the chords, so sorry about that. Let me just start it at the middle of that bar, and then you'll hear what it sounds like. Okay? I didn't have that enabled. All right, here we go again. Let's just go from the front. It'll sound better. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. Now, at the end of this, I'm probably not going to have those same chords because in my mind I was hearing something else. So those chords are going to be laid down later. I don't want to work on the chords tonight, but I do want to work on this other riff. Now, as far as that goes, though, I probably need to go ahead. This is a loop, so if I try to shorten this, may or may not work. I don't know. Let's see what happens here if I do that. that'll work. So let's go ahead and save that, and what I'll do is I'll continue working on this. Now, what I'll do is I'll show you. I don't think you'll be able to see the guitar like I've got it here. I'll be using, in this case, I was using the Ibanez S130, SA130 MFM, I think is what it's called, the red one that I've got. But I've just been wanting to play around with my Ibanez RG4EX1. So what I'm going to do is, instead of showing you that you know what it looks like, I'm just going to go back and forth and kind of record what I've got here. I'm not going to worry about making it a different a reamp either, because I don't want to have a whole lot of tracks and just kill my CPU. But and I'm not really worried about reamping this because I like the sound of the amp, so I'm not really too worried about that. So here's what the amp actually sounds like. This is the metal spread one. And if I turn on the actual delay and the the delay, it gives it more of a spread, a stereo spread, which is called why it's called a spread. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just switch to this mode and see what's going on here. Go ahead and remove the microphone. We don't need these. That's going to be aggravating. Don't need that messing with anything. So I'll just remove the microphone for now, and if I need to, I'll bring it back. So I'm going to adjust some things, and then I will go ahead and start recording. And you'll be seeing this view instead of me recording. So you'll see me working on guitar notes and things like that. There's really no way I can fit this into the actual thing. I tried, and there's not much I can do. Let's see. There was one thing I could do, which was, try to get the top half of the display on there. I guess I suppose I could try that. You don't really need to see all these other angles and everything. This one down here, well, the longer one is the one that matters. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. So let me just go ahead and add another secondary display here. I thought about doing that, but I was like, I don't know about that. But I'm going to do it. Let's make it that one. And then what I'll do is I need to shorten it, to shrink it for one thing. Alright, let's put it at the top here. Get rid of all this. Okay. And then we don't really need the bottom either. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And you should be able to see just fine here. You don't need to really see the top here. That's not a big deal. Just want you to see the tracks as I do them. That way I don't have to flip back and forth between different ones. Okay, so let's just go with this. So right up here you've got the rhythm tracks. Here's the main riff, but we're going to be working in this section right here first. Okay, because I'm going to make some harmonies there, and we'll see how that turns out. So you should be able to see this just fine, hopefully. And yeah, so we'll go with that. There we go. Move that up a bit. Okay. So see the input level looks fine over here. I've got it to where it's not clipping. Let me go over what I'm working on right now, which I guess I'll just leave the mic where it is since we don't have to worry about that other angle. I'm at the this thing's loud. I'm going to be at the 2nd and 4th fret here, and here's the riff I want to have happen in this area, right over the top of this. Okay, actually it's over the top of this. Okay, so I won't have any rhythm happening. So I have to rely on the drums for my rhythm. I won't have any rhythm guitars. gain stuff, or not gain, but noise gate stuff happening. So let me kind of dial that down a little bit. That's a lot of noise. So I'm going to go here and try to edit that on the amp itself. The gate needs to be higher. Let's put it about 50. It's a little bit better, but I think it's a little too restrictive. Let's go back 55. Much better. Let's turn that down to about 60. Because I think, let's see, where was it? It's about 68, so I'm going to put it on 60. Nope. Put it on about 55 again. Much better. Let's go ahead and save that. And I got to take this mod off too, this chorus. Oh, now the 11 rack's finally loading. Check that out. I got to take this chorus off too because I'm going to be applying the effects here. I don't want to have any latent effects. See how much that turned that down with the chorus? What is that? Let's see. Low cut width voices. Mix. Because the mix is low. Let's see. Gotta fix that. Let's see. Back. It's right at 48. I don't know why it's causing it to go lower volume. Doesn't make sense. Not exactly sure on that. Okay, here we go. By the way, if you can't tell, I've got myself a brand new Groove Gear fret wrap, a little green thing here. This is supposed to help remove a lot of latent noises and overtones and things like that. The problem with this particular guitar is that it doesn't really fit over the nut. So if I'm doing any kind of like tapping or any kind of like soloing really high on the neck and I need some muting, I'll just move that down to the 2nd or the 3rd fret, and it kind of mostly mutes all that. But for what I'm doing here, I'm not sure if I want it. I'm just going to put it back as far as I can, and it'll do a little bit of muting. Now, I've heard that you can put it back here, but for Floyd Rose, I don't know that it really needs it because you've got a locking tuner with pads, plus you've got this little bar here, which is metallic, so it could ring out. I'm not sure. Now, I've watched Marco Sfoli, and he puts his right behind where that bar is. He puts it back here to limit overtones. But for me, I may just leave it here and see what happens. Okay, so let's go real quick to the 11 rack editor, so you can see if it'll pull up. So you can see exactly what is going on with the it's still loading rig layout. Mercy. Well, anyway, the cool thing is I can actually take the settings from the chorus and plug them into a similar chorus here, so I could still get the same effect as what I was doing before, and I won't need to have to worry about that. Now, I apologize if the 11 rig thing comes up and messes up, but not messes up, but kind of blocks the display here. I think what I'll do with this is I'm going to actually make a few takes out of this and comp it. So I need to go to the N mark here. Actually, the N mark is, let's see, if I start it there, I need a little bit before, because I need a couple count ins. So we're going to do that, and then at the out mark, it's going to be just a little past that. Okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a punch and let it keep recording. And from that, I can actually comp and select the best pieces of each one and then create a solo. So that's probably what I'll do is once I'm satisfied with 4 or 5 takes, just call that done. That'll be cool because you don't want to spend a lot of time on this. If this is really a demo, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. I'm not worried about how in tune my guitar is or any of that, because once I get it the way I want it, I can go back and actually make the song. So, all right, so let's try this. The question is, do I want to have it on the neck pickup setting? One thing I'm having to get used to as well is I've noticed Marcos Foley, he has his hand is more up this direction. You can see a lot of the bridge up here. I'm used to putting my hand right here on these little string fine tuners, not fine tuners, but where you lock the string in, and so my arm rests right there. Now that allows for, it makes it harder to mute because I'm actually just not really muting the string, so I need to get used to moving up and completely muting those strings for when I do solos and stuff. So I'm going to try to get used to that. That's one thing I noticed that may make a big difference. Okay, so here's the 11 rig, not the 11 rig, but the 11 rack editor. And what I was saying was, once I go to the modulation, which is right here, I could click on that and plug in those same settings into a similar chorus plug-in effect over here. Okay, so this is, like I said, going to take a while. We're not going to worry about it. I could hit the mod there, but it's just loading. Usually don't take that long to load. I don't know why it's doing it now. So let's go back to waveform, if this will get out of our way. It registers it there. Just going to move this over to, I don't want to do that either. Tell you what, I'll get it out of our way. I'll put it down here. I'll put it right there, and I'll leave it showing so that I won't forget about it. All right, so let's go back to the end mark and start recording. There's the bridge, and here's the next. I don't know. We'll try, since it's a demo, we'll just try it with a bridge because it sounds like it's got more bite to it. All right, I guess I'm putting this off too much. Let's try it. Hopefully the OBS software will not slow this down so that it's way out of sync. I'm afraid that might happen, but we'll try it. messed up a couple times, but I got the gist of it, okay? And I shouldn't have stopped because now I don't have another recording for this. But anyway, look at, wow, that gain needs to be brought down. Let's see what it sounds like here. Well, I can bring the gain down a little bit more later. Probably shouldn't take that up all the way to the clip. Let's put it back down about where it was. And then I can turn up the headphones if I need it. And plus, I forgot to just keep rolling. I need to do that. Let me go back and try this again. Oh, what happened there? Did that have... Do I have two things enabled? I shouldn't, but I do, apparently. Yeah, I don't know why that's showing up. Where's the input on that? I don't know why it looks like it recorded that. I don't know why. I don't know. Let's try it again. And I'll just keep rolling. The levels are right. We'll try this again. See what we got here. Hold on, why is this? Wow, okay. I think I show the wrong one earlier. I do not want that recording. So it's this one. Okay, yeah, there's the input. Get that out of there. No input. All right. That's what happened. I had the guitar input there. All right, let's try this again. And keep rolling. All right, stop that. That's what happened. I didn't have it on punch. It's on punch now. All right, let's try this. Mercy sakes alive. Mercy sakes. Okay, so we don't need punch. We just need to start rolling. And then once it gets to the out point, it should go back. Oh, loop. Durr. Great. Okay, loop. We need a loop on there. I didn't have that enabled. You can't really see that. I'm not sure if I need punch or not. I think I do, because that way it'll keep it inside the in and out marks. So let's just go back, because that's good practice anyway. We'll just keep doing it again. Recording can't be done in loop mode or punch mode with in or out, but not both. Loop's what we want. That way it'll stay inside. All right. think that's good enough. That's tough to do over and over and over again. Maybe set the guitar down. And let's see what we got here. First of all, let's expand it. And here's our track numbers right here. Let's see if I can move that up just a hair. Let me just go ahead and go to this mode. Here's our track numbers right here. We can actually look at this and see all the different tracks. Take 5, number 6. This one is take track number 6. I can delete that one because that's when I stopped. And then I can unpack them to new tracks. I can show the takes, all of these. As far as comping them, not exactly sure. Can't remember how to do that. Think you can actually, yeah, you go down here and select which portions that you like the most. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the gain down because that's way hot steel. And I know what's going on. It's coming directly from the 11 rack. That's right. I was adjusting the gain on my audio interface because it's going in through that. So I can adjust the gain here, which should be all right. So let's just bring that down to a more manageable level. Something that looks more like what I've got over here. Okay, so let's listen to it. I think it's because it's record mode enabled. No, it's probably because I'm looking at the tracks. High takes. So this is a comp, all right? So high takes, and that should give us. I know it's doing it now. We go over here to comp 1. And it's doing it because that was considered a comp. So let me show takes. And now I've actually got to select from my takes. So I can take, no pun intended, and just start listening to certain parts here like that. Then I can take this much of that one. Say I want this much of that one. I like this one better. Get a little bit of this one down here. And then for the end, let's do the last one. And what it does is it populates it up here based on that. And then I can start listening to it. I didn't like this one because it didn't show the right, it had a little mess up there. So let's go down here, do that instead. Play it. That don't sound right because it sounds a little off timing. So let's get rid of that one. Extend that a little bit better. That out a little bit more. See that? So it's going to take from the one that's closest to it. That's where it sounded out of timing. Okay, so that sounds okay for now. Had a little mess up there. Let's see what this one sounds like. Not sure about that one. A little bit further this way. Nope. So I'm just drawing sections here that sound better to me, to my ears. And then that's how they used to do it back in the day. They did it with tape. They would comp a bunch of solos together and pick the right ones. But this is so much easier nowadays. Traction Waveform has the ability to do this now. I think it was that one I didn't care for. Yeah, that had the bad thing on there. That had a mess up on it. That had a mess up on it. Looks like maybe all these will, but that's alright. This is not the real thing, like I said. That's better. Try this section. No, what about this section? What about the main section here? What about the front? Little spot here didn't sound clean. You know what I can do is just solo this too. A little forced. I'm going to need some drums too, so let's solo those. A little out of time there. Okay, I think we got it. All right, so let's go ahead and close this comp. And then later on, I can tell it to delete unused takes. I can tell it to hide takes. And then if I like it enough, I can flatten the current comp. Okay, so that's really, really cool. I'd like to delete. I'm not using this one at all, the 4. I'm not using 6 at all. So if I tell it to delete unused, I might lose a whole track that I might need later. So I'm not going to tell it to do that. Now this does take a little extra memory because you got 6 different WAV files in your recording. Okay, so just keep that in mind. When you flatten it, it will lose that, but you may still have those later on. I'm not sure. So I'm going to flatten the current comp. No, I'm not going to flatten. I'm going to hide the takes, and just know that it's a comp. Okay, and that right there, little arrow, that little plus sign down here, right there, tells me that it's a comp take. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shorten this right there, and let's take the back end off of that. And also what I usually do too is, let me zoom in here. I don't want any of that extra string noise showing up there. So what I'll do is I'll take and apply an edge fade on both sides. Okay, so that's gone. You don't hear that. All right, back to the top here. Let's go ahead and save what we've done because I haven't saved in a while. It auto saves automatically, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So we'll go ahead and shrink that, put this back to regular. And now I have that, and now I go back and I can record a harmony part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here and listen to this over and over again and see what it sounds like, what kind of harmony part I need. Now I can tell you that that's really, the gain is really high on this. I will have to take it down on the actual thing there, or can I just bring it down here or up here? So what I'll do is I'll just match that there. That's negative 2.46. I'm going to put the input down here now. Okay, so the input now, input gain is negative 2.46. I can do that, or I'll probably just adjust it later. So let's listen to this and move. Let's see if I started there. Okay, yeah, I like having that little bit of extra time, so I'm going to leave the end point on this bar. And then I'll come back now. This one is recording. So what I could do, I could actually put this one on the other one. The neck pickup. But what I'm probably going to do is just leave it on the high pickup. I can EQ it later if I want to, but I like that separation. But I'm going to listen to this and try to find a harmony for this. I want to listen to it real quick first with the these bottom ones going on, the pre-chorus melody here. Right there is probably where I'll put a harmony in. So what I'll do is that's tough. I don't want to do that. I want to do a harmony. So let me go back here a little bit and listen to it. Man, finding harmony is weird for this. What I could do as well is just put a little pitch shifter on here, just so I can get an idea, and then just go back and do it myself. Let's put it on pitch shifter. I need to move that up. Let's see, settings. I need it. Yeah, I need it in I want to say 5 semitones. Let's see. So I need to move that up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 semitones to give me a fifth. So now let's listen to what it sounds like on this little part here. No, that's not going to sound good. Let's put it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 semitones. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay, I need to move this down here and just copy and paste this. Needs to line right up. Right about there. And all I need is to go back and check out this. Move that from about there. That might work. So let's just go ahead and pan this far left, far right. Now I'm going to take this patch bay off of here. I'll put it right here because then it'll be in stereo, and well, I don't want to do that. I guess I'll move it back. It's I can't disable it, I don't think, for some reason. Yeah, it won't disable on this. So what I'll do is I'll move these crossovers out of the way, and that'll give us stereo, and it'll be a little louder because of that. So just be aware of that. Actually, it's a little softer because we're splitting channels, so it's a little bit softer. So let's try this. See if we can hear, if you can hear it on the good speakers or on your headphones. so it's going to be kind of the same. So finding harmonies like this is pretty difficult. Let's see here. Let's scoot that out just a little bit more. I think I found it. Let's switch back here to my practice thing. That's the okay, so that's going to be a little hard. We're going to put the in and outs a little bit before, like I said, about 2 bars before. I'll go ahead and stop those. And what I could do is go straight into this again. And this last one. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to have this shape. Next shape. Next shape. And then the final one is going to be. And that's going to happen right in the middle. So like I said, I can branch out from there. That's going to be tough. Third from the other note. Okay, let's try this. This is going to be a mess up. I'm going to practice it a few rounds first, and then I'll try to go back and record and loop it. And then we're probably done for the evening on this. I can figure out the chords later. Okay, so here we go. Just looping right now, not recording. Let me go back so that I don't get confused on myself. And go ahead and put these back to mono. This is just a simple patch bay plugin. If you go to if I go to replace, it's in waveform, and then you go to patch bay, and then that, crossing the right with the left and the left with the right makes it mono. So it's going to be a little bit louder again. Okay, so here we go. There's where I'm not sure about. Let's keep going. Okay, let's try it. Recording multiple takes. So we come up with, I'm going to turn this down just a hair because it's going to be in my way. Let's go down to about -3 and listen to it. I'm going to leave that on the left, I think, because when it does in stereo, it'll sound a lot better. So, actually, I think I will center it. I can do them. That's part of mixing again. I can do the mixing later. All right, here we go. It's I can move this up a little bit so I don't have any string around. We'll try it. Oh, I gotta put it on record. Here we go. good enough. I recorded once again the last take. I should have stopped at the end because now I have another take I don't need. Did I do that 8 times? Seriously? I guess I did. Okay. Let's go ahead and start showing the takes. Because when I unpack them, I'm not sure if I can pack them back. That's the thing. I don't know if I can pack them back into a new thingamajig. So, let's go over here and get the right one here. So, let's see. Could I combine like 2 takes into one? I don't think so. Alright, first of all, let's go here. Chop out any unnecessary stuff. Save. Second of all, scooch that in a little bit so I can see the whole track. Alright, get rid of this part. Put a edge fade on both sides and then start unpacking these and see what we got here. -246, -246 needs to be this one as well. Let's go ahead and do that. Same levels. And start listening. I really liked the last one out of all of them, but there's a little bitty spot in the bottom there that I didn't really care for. I wish I could right click on that, delete it, but I don't think I can. Let's just, okay, so clicking on it selects the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is start playing until I hear something I don't like, because the last one was one I liked the most. And we need to take off the pitch shifter because it's no longer needed. Once again, let's do the solo on this with the drums. There I don't like. Starts right here. This last part maybe could sound better. Take that loop off. Okay, so let's go back here. Start selecting one at a time. A lot of, I can just do it by bar, which is a lot easier. There's a lot of noise in between these. It's not very clean like I'd like it to be. Probably because the gain might be a little too high on the amp setting. It's up at like 7, I think, for the gain. Click or something. Right there, there's a little click there. That sounds a little weak. So let's go to the next one here. Right about there. Sounds a little forced. Go to the next one. Oh, that might have had a mess up there. Okay, that's number 2, 3, 4. I like 4. Just keep that in mind. Let's go all the way to the front and start listening to it again in context. Like I said, later on when I re-record this, I can just flatten this. For now, it's I'm just gonna leave it like it is. All right. Hear that click? Right there. Like I said, later on that'll be taken out. I'll do another one, but for now that's got to go. I mean, later on that'll have to go. I have to be careful on that. Okay, so I think we're good to go on this. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and hide the takes. I'm good with that comp. Once again, let's go see what it sounds like full spread. And see if I need anything at the beginning there, because I may want to have like the same thing doubled. If I do, I need to go back and double it. Nope, not soloed. Okay, that's pretty cool. The slide here at the end was a little longer than that one, but like I said, later on I can re-record that. I don't know. It's kind of weak. I tell you, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to double this real quick. Make that the out. Make that the in. And leave that there. this will overlap. It's not going to delete that. So I'm going to do the same exact thing as the beginning. So it'll be doubled, and then you'll hear it spread apart even more so. So let me go enable this again. All right, we're going to try it again. So just that twice. All right, here we go. We'll try it again. I forgot to loop it, so let me stop that. Go back here. Hopefully that bled in enough on the other part. I don't know if it did or not, but we'll try it. And that's where the crossfade happens. Hopefully this will be all right. Let's take the loop off. Yeah, that's good. All right. Let's listen to it full spread. Matter of fact, let's go back here. Look at the takes. And begin. I'm going to start with the last one. That's usually the best one. And start cutting from there. Save it. Here we go. Let's try it again. I noticed two spots here. This had like a string squeak, and there's a harmonic in here somewhere. Right there. Pinch harmonic type thing. Still a little bit of a harmonic. Nope, don't like that one. So I only had 3 takes then, so I got to choose one of these. Another harmonic there. Oops, I didn't know I could move these. That's cool. Didn't want to do that, but that's cool. Okay, so that's coming out of that one. Let's just do this here. Doing on that one too. All right. I think that's good enough. I need to move that. -246. Just like the other one was, right? 246, yep. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and say that one is going to hide the takes. And that should be good enough to go. As far as color coding, I kind of like these to be about the same purple, because they're going to be the same thing. Yeah. Loop this clip. 3 times. Okay, that's if you want to loop it up here. All right, now let's listen to it spread out, and you should be able to hear the coolness of it. It's not EQ'd or anything like that, obviously, but we can see what's going on here. That happens right here. Stereo mode. That's cool. All right, so obviously these, can't hardly hear these. Those need to be turned up. Maybe it's just me. I don't have enough mix in there. I don't know. I think maybe my headphones are not enough. So let's do that one more time. I like that. That's really cool. Now, over here, we're going to have some different chords. So the chords are probably going to be... Whoa, it's loud on my headphones. Headphones are probably going to be... Okay, so let's try that and see what it sounds like. I'm not going to do it, but this is actually using... Remember I said that's the A1. Actually, it's not the A1. It's I need to bypass because I'm coming in through the revolver. So let's see, how can I do that? Let me just go to the cabinet and the amp. Cabinet and amp now are bypassed. I don't need reverb, delay, modulation, or distortion on there. I don't need anything on there. So this is the dry signal, but now if I put the input over here and make the input to be yeah, it's still 11 rig. So if I put that up here, you know what, I didn't have to do any of that, I don't think. Let me see, I wonder now if I make this guitar input, there it is, it's dry. I don't have to disable all that stuff. So here, that's the dry signal, and then guitar input should be dry. Yeah, it is, I think. Let's just do it. Maybe it's not. There's got to be a way to do that. Oh, wait a second. That's because it's on that outlet. Let's go back here to something that's not using a amp mod. And if I just record, like, let's say right here, it's record enabled. And there's no looping, so let's listen to that. Yeah, that's all dry signal, but we're hearing the actual 11 rack. So I need to I need to disable that just for the hearer's sake. That's so weird. Alright, so I don't need that. Let's put this back up here. And disable the cab and the speaker. All the effects. Okay, so now that's record enabled. Problem is with this, I'm not hearing the revalver like I should. Oh, it's muted. So if I unmute that, still not hearing it. What's going on here? That's just a replay. I should be hearing the revalver here. For some reason I'm not. Oh, let's go ahead and put this on mono again. That's one reason why. And this needs to be on this is why as well. I've got to change the input here back to this aggregate device, which is including my audio device, which is right here, 1 and 2. And if I go and change that to input 1, actually it'll be 2 because that's where my guitar is plugged in. Now we should hear the PV triple X. Or not. What is the deal, folks? In 1 maybe? I do not understand that at all. That should be input. Check 1 2. Yeah. Check 1 2. That should be the guitar. It's not muted. If I play this, you can hear, you know, the rhythm guitar. Oh, I know why. It's froze on me. There we go. So I do not understand. Input is from there. Maybe I need to go to actual UMC. Before I go any further, let me check the stream, make sure you can still hear me. I messed around with some of the settings like that last time, and I went to where you couldn't hear anything. It's not muted. If I play this, you can hear, you know, the rhythm guitar. Oh, I know why. It's froze on me. There we go. So I do not understand. Input is from there. Maybe I need to go to actual UMC. Before I go any further, let me check the okay, so that's working. I do not know why. This is, oh, okay, now it's, whoa. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm just going to put it back to, that's outputs though. I don't need outputs, I need inputs, I think. It's got outputs there. Yeah, the input's what I need was, that should still give me the input 1 and 2, in 1 and 2. Input 1 and 2. There it is. Okay, so it's record enabled, then it begins to work. So if I change this to that aggregate device, that should be the 11 rack and the other thing. So for some reason it doesn't register then. I gotta zoom into that. There we go. I'm not seeing the. Oh, that's the inputs we got there. I don't need that. I just need one input. There, that's this one. So the question is now, why is it showing it as in for the aggregate device and not input like it was for the actual audio device itself or audio interface? So I'm looking for aggregate device here in 1 and 2. That's the UMC. Yeah, it sees it as in 1 and in 2. If I switch this to that, is it still in 1 and 2? Yeah, but let's see here. Okay, I better switch that back. So we'll just go with UMC for now as the input, and it should work. Okay, so that's terrible. What's the deal with check 1 2? Wasn't doing that a while ago. I think traction's about to freeze on me. That doesn't sound right. Anyway, I guess I'll do that later because that's just not sounding right at all. Let's go ahead and change that. We'll go back to the 811 rack. And then just pick one. I'll just go back to the H1, I guess, because it sounds kind of metally. Alright, so let's try that, and then I think we'll be done with this stream. I'm going to play the chords right in here, okay? So let's go ahead and start from right here. Probably when I come back, I need to go ahead and save them out points there. Out there. In would be, yeah, that's about right. Couple bars. So let's start there. And then maybe, actually right there is probably where there would be either a chorus or a solo. That's more like the verses and then the pre-chorus. And we may have a solo there. All that solo stuff will probably come down here, and then when I get back, just bump that back there. Okay, so that's the Fretwraps. I ended up getting 3 of these. This will work a lot better on my red guitar because it actually has a regular nut, so I can slide over the top. As for this one, I guess for now I can leave it here. When I start doing the high solos, I just got to remember to leave that, you know, kind of muted for recording. And then, yeah. And when I'm doing actual rhythm, I may just put it over here because I'm sure that makes some kind of noise, makes some kind of sound. So that's the stream for the night, guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I really hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. And I hope you've enjoyed this songwriting session. I am off to probably download this and then upload it straight to YouTube, maybe for later on this week because I've got another video for them especially. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed playing for you, really enjoyed learning new things because I'm learning this as I go and just piecing it together as I continue to go on and listen to the song. In my mind, I'm hearing other things happen. So when I hear those happen, I go back and I'll start working on those. So that's pretty cool. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you'll continue watching me on this stream when I do songwriting session like this and classic gaming, which I'm really enjoying and having fun at. Started playing a new game called The Escapists on Xbox, and man, that game is tough. The first level, I just can't get past it right now. So I'm frustrated, so I'm taking a break from it. It may be something that I end up playing on this if I can find an emulator for it, because it's not really a classic game, but I don't know, it's a pretty fun game. And also, please do check out my new course that is almost out. It's about to be released, and that is bluegrassguitaressentials.com. Okay, or Bluegrass Guitar Arpeggios is the name of the course. Bluegrass Guitar Essentials is the name of the website. If you go to bluegrassguitaressentials.com/arpeggios, you'll be able to see this course. It will take you to the sales page once it becomes live, and it will be live in a matter of days. I'm talking very soon. It's in the approval process right now, and I look for it to be approved any day now, hopefully in time for Christmas. So thank you so much. Please check that out, bluegrassguitaressentials.com/arpeggios. You can see it right there on the link. And we will see you guys next time. Have a very Merry Christmas. As I said, thanks so much for watching, and God bless.